Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Eric Cedarstrom, and we are rocking and firing this morning on this. Oh, man, I got to tell you, he's going to utter two words that I've never said before in my life. Happy Juneteenth. This show is brought to you by the Patriot Trading Group. We offer things that you can hang on to that you might need, that we may allow you to function in a hyperinflated or collapsed society. If you're not sure what that is by now, if you're a new listener, stay tuned because we're going to teach you. Or you can call 1-800-951-0592, or you can also head out 24/7, 365 at allamericangold.com, updated daily with news to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable, and everybody is in that camp. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you one thing that's becoming painfully clear. Painfully obvious is the day is rapidly approaching for you to pick a side. That we know. We always do Jack Daniels Fridays. Well, it's a tradition that goes back. I mean, let's face it. Some weeks are just rough, and you can use a couple shots of Jack every now and then in your coffee. That helps you get ready, and recover from the week and get ready for the weekend. So, now listen, if you're doing that, don't be doing that driving, all right? If you're at home, go ahead. Have a little number 7, which, by the way, with everything that we're seeing, Jack Daniels, considered to be, an American icon, is now going to be under attack as well. That's actually a movement a few years ago that the recipe for Jack Daniels was not created by Jack Daniels, whose real name was Jasper Newton Daniels, but it was created by an ex-slave, Nearest Green. So there's a movement afoot there. Ultimately, when reparations come, Jack Daniels will be one of the first companies they go after, and it's already started. It's nothing new, but it was on the news this morning, and I'm like, on Jack Daniels Friday? Of course, the Jack Daniels started in 1866, and that was a year after the 13th Amendment. Which, if you don't know what the 13th Amendment is, it's amazing. If you go to Seattle today on this Juneteenth and interview, I don't care, pick them. The guy on Facebook goes around and interviews people. Just pick them and ask them to explain the Emancipation Proclamation. That would be comedy at its best. I'm joined with President Joe Jaquin of Patriot Trading Group. How you doing, man?
Hey, Eric, I'm doing really well. Happy Jack Daniels Friday. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. By the way, at 5 p.m. tonight, you better have your mask on. Pretty much Scottsdale, Chandler, I think Phoenix is going to do it today. The mandatory mask is coming to Arizona.
Our governor let them go city by city, but every city's doing it. From now on, not only am I wearing a mask, but I'm carrying a sword with me. So everywhere they go, I'm going to just put Z's. Who was that masked man? So... listen, I got to tell you, you think the protesters that are angry, and this weekend with Trump going to Oklahoma and they're declaring a state of emergency there, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know if that was the correct words. I'll go back and check. I'll get that right out to you. It might be that they have declared a state of emergency. The evil right-wingers are getting ready to assemble. But you think the protesters are mad now that are running through this country and this world? Wait till George Soros 1099s them, and they got to pay taxes. I mean, I'm here to tell you, you think they're mad? They got to realize they got to pay taxes to rebuild these cities that they burnt down. There's really going to be a protest. Yesterday, of course, we were going after the interpreters. And I got an email from Bob in New River that he said he almost wrecked his car yesterday about how can the deaf not know how to operate closed captioning on their TV? Literally, that the new technology, they refuse to recognize it because it's very très chic to have an interpreter. And he said to me, he emailed me, he goes, why don't they just put a dog on there like a German Shepherd, Rin Tin Tin or Lassie barking, and they go, what, there's trouble? There's trouble, boy?
That way all the dogs will know, stay 6 feet away from me.
You people are sick and twisted. Speaking of sick and twisted, go to our Facebook site, KHNC. There was a funny Somebody, you guys are funny. The postings on there, KHNC 1360.
Make sure you friend us there. It's
like us or dislike us. Yeah, we're trying to have a hate button put in. I hate these guys.
We're working on it.
Can you imagine a hate button? I mean, how come Facebook hasn't thought of this yet? So
they're trying to eliminate hate, Eric. That's the thing.
Yeah.
By the way, so the mayor of Tulsa has declared a civil emergency.
Thank you. Not a state. So he did, though, didn't he?
Yep. It's a curfew, a 6-block radius around the stadium or arena that Trump is going to be rallying at tomorrow.
Well, and of course, Trump. I got mad. I got in trouble when I said I'd never heard of Juneteenth ever.
But I hadn't either. But
so,
now we have now.
And then we had the guy call and said he hates us for life. But yesterday on Newsmax, Trump told a newspaper that nobody had ever heard of the holiday Juneteenth, which 47 states officially commemorate or observe until after he scheduled a rally in Oklahoma.
Well, think about this, right? So he's like, hey, we're going to have a rally in Oklahoma, and we're going to do it on the 19th.
19th of June.
Somebody in his group would have said, wait a minute, Mr. President, do you know that's Juneteenth? Nobody knew.
Right.
Obviously, if it had been a real thing before, somebody would have known. It's a real thing now.
When I first saw it on the closed captioning go across the TV, when I first saw it, we had it in our living room, and I'm like, look, they misspelled it. Which you don't ever hardly see. I'm like, they misspelled June 19th and put Juneteenth up. Well, they didn't misspell it, did they? Yeah, this is going to be soon. It's going to be, we're going to have to change this to Nearest Green Friday when they own Jack Daniels. We'll be back.
Patriot Radio News Hour. The Dow is just gone negative here. It's one of those witching days, right? The quarterly witching days. Big sell-off all of a sudden. We'll see where it ends up. Gold's up 20. Silver's up 40 cents. The big pent-up car demand. Apparently people didn't buy BMWs because they just announced they're laying off 6,000 workers. And then California, Tesla registrations plummeted in California. Yesterday that number came out. So I don't know, Eric. I don't know how this whole huge V-shaped recovery is really going to work out.
Well, New York City, too, home purchases now are starting to plummet. So turns out New Yorkers actually want to see an apartment in person. They're not allowed to do it. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So you realtors, think about that. The state's pandemic lockdown, which outlawed face-to-face real estate showings. Unbelievable. Talk about just destroying an economy.
I mean, you think the face mask thing is just going to make it worse. Everybody, I think you're going to see it everywhere. Follow the leader.
They're going to have to change them, though. You need a special drinking face mask, an eating face mask, a exercise face mask. You're going to have like a 12-pack of face masks. So
you need to wear them at the restaurants and in the bar. So how do you eat and drink if you got to wear the mask?
People don't want to wear them. It angers them. It angers you. It angers. I admit, Joe and I fight about this. I'll put on a mask to go in the hardware store. I mean, I will. I don't care. I don't want to catch some disease from there. I'm just that way. I'm OCD about it.
You are, and I blamed you for why we're not going to have a V-shaped recovery.
I know, it's the boomers.
Because you guys don't want to have to go out there at all. You still haven't ate at a restaurant since they reopened.
I haven't been to a grocery store. My wife and I decided that if anyone's going to go, it's her. So she goes for the family.
But now, with the whole mask thing here, now I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go and wear a mask at the bar. I'll just stay home. That's just what I'm going to do now.
See? That's
right. I'm not going to go.
You know what?
Hey,
I get it.
Get the wife and the kids. Let's go to Olive Garden and wear our mask.
Now, you know people that have coronavirus now. You have it?
Yes.
You have it in your high school football team.
Yes.
Explain to them. It's fascinating.
We had 4 people associated with the high school. 3 were students. None of them currently on the football team. And 1 was a mother of a football player. Okay? And all 4 have the exact same story. They woke up one day and did not feel well. We're running a fever. And, of course, with the corona thing going, immediately went to the doctor. Right? That same day, went to the doctor, of course, they tested. They didn't even ask them. They just immediately tested them. Period.
Automatic.
Yeah,
you have a symptom. You got a fever, coronavirus.
You're getting a test.
Okay.
They go home. Okay, so they go home. They wake up the next morning. All 4 of them woke up, I'm fine.
The next day.
The next day.
That was it. Coronavirus over.
Well, they didn't know that.
They didn't know yet.
Later in the afternoon, they get calls from the doctor's office. You have coronavirus.
Wow.
They tested positive.
Wow.
Yet they're like, what do you mean I tested? I'm fine.
We're fine now. Huh.
The other thing, though, that made this interesting.
That's weird. See, there's someone who got coronavirus. You know, nobody knows what this is going to do to you.
Finish, though. Nobody of all 4, not a single other person in their immediate family, not mom, not dad, not brother, not sister, tested. They all had it. They tested the whole family after that. All of them were negative.
That's what happened to my family when I got herpes. Nobody else got it. I'm sorry. Anyway, all right, see, there you have it.
So
fascinating.
That's just what it was, and that's obviously 4 people is a pretty small sample size.
Pretty weird.
But
now,
I'm just saying.
How old is this data?
What do you mean?
When did they get tested?
The first of the 4 was over a week ago.
So we're a week into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep us abreast of that.
I will let you know.
If any of them end up on a ventilator, okay, we're going to quarantine you. Okay, now, everybody yesterday, I got a couple people, why didn't you talk about the Supreme Court? Why didn't you talk about it? I mean, Trump called it a shotgun blast to the face to American conservatives. Obviously, the news out of the Supreme Court with the LGBTQ community, and then the ICE and local law enforcement doesn't have to work with ICE, and then finally yesterday, the DACA. Now, remember, any court, even Supreme Court decisions, when the attorneys get involved, or, do they really mean that, or can we appeal it? So Trump tweeted this morning, the Supreme Court asked us to resubmit on DACA. Now, by the way,
for those, some people may not know what DACA is.
That's the Dreamer Act.
The Dreamer Act, right?
So all the, what is there, 800,000 of them, they say actually there's probably 8 million or 80 million or who knows how many illegals are
These
here.
were ones where the kids came over at a very young age.
Right.
Don't really know, don't speak, a lot of them don't even speak Spanish, or they
Well, the ones that grew up here, I'm sure.
Right, they went to elementary school, they graduated high school here.
In all fairness, they are Americanized, but they're still illegals. But
I just was saying,
but they were partying yesterday. I mean, the news all over, and then everyone's talking, the Supreme Court's gone liberal, we've lost the country. I heard someone call into Rush Limbaugh yesterday crying, that America's dead, and it may be. But apparently the attorneys have taken a look at all this, and Trump says nothing was lost or won yesterday. The Supreme Court just punted. And I'm reading his tweet this morning. Much like in a football game, where hopefully they would stand for our great American flag. Now he's even questioning if the Supreme Court will stand for the.
They're going to take a knee?
They might take a knee as well. He says, we're going to be submitting enhanced papers shortly. Shortly, I don't know. It could be, an hour from now or within 6 months in order to properly fulfill the Supreme Court's request. So there you have it. So I just thought I'd put that out. He also added, ruling and requested yesterday, I wanted to take care of DACA recipients better than the do-nothing Democrats. But for years, the Democrats have refused to negotiate. They've abandoned DACA based on the decision, and the Dems can't make DACA citizens. They've gained nothing. So,
you know what I find interesting? A lot of, you take Seattle or Atlanta or a lot of these places where you're seeing big, massive protest. These are Democratic cities with Democratic mayors, right, with Democratic police chiefs, right, with Democrat this and Democrat that, and yet all of them are like it's Donald Trump's fault.
I know. Well,
I don't get it.
They're going to elect Biden. Here, Savage yesterday, we run Savage on 1360 in the afternoons. I was listening to him, and he was saying, Biden, of course, we all know Biden will just be a puppet, but Biden's vice president, which is supposed to be a woman of color, right?
Well, that's what that's what Klobuchar, who dropped out she has said that he should have a woman of color as vice president.
Well, whoever the woman of color is, according to Savage, will be our president within 7 months into his administration.
Michelle Obama?
Well, I mean, just think about that statement, though. So he's either too old or something's going to happen to him or...
Dude, he doesn't know what day of the week it is.
I know. You really really doesn't. But that's a perfect president. Yeah, Klobuchar, she did pipe up this morning. I saw that on the newswire. Amy Klobuchar says she's dropping out of the running to be vice president and urging Democrats, who would even want to get into the White House? And why are they still allowing it to be white? Why is the White House still white? I mean, how come we haven't heard anything of that? I mean, that would be an atrocity, you would think, in today's day and age. So, but anyway, the white Minnesota senator, by the way, Ilhan Omar from Minnesota.
Right.
Another.
And again, and how did that come? How did that happen? People don't know this because we have the same thing here in Phoenix when they were giving waivers for the, especially out of Africa, for people to come over. They cluster them, and they put them all in the same place, and and then all of a sudden they have power, right? So when they go to the polls in their local districts. Right, they are the district, right? The Muslims are the district because that's exactly how we brought them here.
Well, they let them all in. Yeah, they put them in. They build a district.
They did it on purpose.
She said America needs to atone for its violent, racist past and present. That's a U.S. senator, ladies and germs.
Pelosi, did you hear her ridiculous comments as well?
What a scumbag. God, Nancy Pelosi has just gone wild. They took down... She wanted to get the statues out of the halls of Congress.
There is nothing shameful about the United States of America and what it has meant to the world and what it has meant to freedom, and they're trying to take it away.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi yesterday said she's ordering the removal of from the Capitol of portraits honoring 4 previous House speakers who served the Confederacy. These are former House speakers. Part of U.S. history. In a letter to the House clerk, Pelosi directed the immediate removal of portraits depicting the former speakers Robert Hunter of Virginia, James Orr of South Carolina, and Howell Cobb and Charles Crist, both of Georgia. The portraits were to be removed yesterday, calling the halls of Congress the very heart of our democracy, Pelosi said. There is no room in the hallowed halls of Congress or in any place of honor for memorializing men who embody the violent bigotry of grotesque racism of the Confederacy. Ruben Gallega, representative here in Phoenix, said that all Trump supporters are Confederate flag lovers yesterday. Talking about a racist statement. Anyone who supports Trump is a racist. So, I don't know. Pelosi also noted today is Juneteenth, honoring the day in 1865. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to read it. 1-800-951-0592. That's your history for today, ladies and Germans. Now for weather. On my way in this morning, I saw 2 fire hydrants fighting over a dog. Usually a sign that things are going to get hot, so expecting highs of 112 next week.
Oh, boy, here you go. How about this one? This just coming out here, Boeing. More problems for Boeing. The Dow is now down over 200 points. This has nothing to do with the 737 MAX. That's the plane that's grounded. New whistleblower has come out saying that Boeing has major flaws on its new 777 X wide-body aircraft, and they're calling for whoever does the flying, the agency that's in charge of it. The FAA, right? They want the FAA to get involved.
How long they've been building airplanes over there? Well, this is what happens when they turn into government organizations, which is all it is. Boeing, $25 billion a year comes from government contracts, and of course, all the employees are subsidized by us, the taxpayers. So, of course, we're not really subsidizing anything anymore because they're just creating money. I don't know who's going to pay for it. I mean, you really think they're going to be able to raise your taxes? We talked about yesterday, just in the last 90 days, they've released more money than World War I, World War II, Vietnam. I mean, the list goes on and on, what that costs us just in the last 90 days to hold the economy together. Here's my favorite. We've been kind of following the Hertz stock thing,
Oh, yeah. Did you see their announcement last night? Hertz has decided to give up on selling worthless stock
that could be worthless a week later.
Well, here's what Hertz wanted to do. They knew that they could get idiots to actually buy the stock. They wanted to raise the money for after the bankruptcy. So now they're going to have to go out and get a loan.
Guess what?
After they emerge out of bankruptcy.
They found $1 billion loan. Hertz Global Holdings is in talk for a bankruptcy loan of up to $1 billion. You want to see who's going to guarantee that loan? I love the Jeopardy music. Look in the mirror if you're driving really quick.
I'm going to go Jay Powell for $200.
Jay Powell's going to pick up the note there, don't worry, a.k.a. the U.S. taxpayer. But again, we're never going to pay the debt, so don't worry about your taxes going up. They're not going to pay this off. We are going to default. They will change the currency over, but not until. Remember, you never get rid of anything unless it becomes perfectly worthless. We still trade Federal Reserve notes for gold, obviously, because we have bills to pay. We can't get the power company to take a $20 gold piece yet. Okay, the grocery store is not taking them. You still have to have Federal Reserve electronic credits now. Therefore, we have to hold a small markup, allow you to convert, and make no mistake about it, we are converting as well and adding to our stockpiles because ultimately you won't be able to do it. Not with this money anyway. Patriot Radio News Hour. Holy guacamole. What a world we live in. We'll be back. Stay with us. It's Jack Daniels Friday.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily broadcast from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. And we're upholding the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly, grassroots activist, author of 27 books, and articulate voice for traditional values for more than 70 years. Now, here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
When you think about the deep state, what part of government do you think of? Maybe you think about the Justice Department, the Education Department, or even the White House. There's certainly a lot of deep state activity going on in all those places as deeply entrenched bureaucrats and Obama holdovers try to undermine President Trump's pro-America agenda. However, don't forget to add the Department of Housing and Urban Development to your list of deep state hotspots, too. Despite non-discrimination advisories going back to 2001, property managers with HUD have a long history of discriminating against Christians. It plays out just like the war on Christmas does every December. Lots of HUD housing projects have a common area for tenants. Sometimes tenants will want to stock Bibles in the communal library or hold a Bible study in the community room. Despotic property managers swoop in, claiming their activity violates the separation of church and state, and they clear out any and all references to religion. Under Secretary Ben Carson, the Trump administration has issued new rules to combat this religious discrimination, but some property managers still take it upon themselves to make their own private interpretation of the U.S. Constitution. At this very moment, the American Center for Law and Justice is pressing forward with a lawsuit against a property manager who went through and confiscated all the Bibles and religious materials from a housing complex. This is the deep state at its very worst. Our founding fathers never intended for lifetime bureaucrats to be able to step on the religious freedom of the citizens. That's what so many millions of people come to the United States to escape. This just shows how important it is to root out and eliminate the deep state at every level of government. From the White House to HUD, we're tired of Washington, D.C. telling us how to live our lives. People who live in government housing have just as much right to have a Bible as anyone else. The American people must not let these tyrants rob our fellow citizens in housing developments of their freedoms. If Americans don't stand up and fight now, they'll be coming to your door next.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin, president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. And we think it's time to take Washington back from the power brokers. At phyllisschlafly.com, we're organizing a grassroots movement to stand against the deep state bureaucrats who control government. For the latest strategies, go to phyllisschlafly.com. That's phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again next time for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
No, Yabba dabba do. Oh, good. The whiskey's kicking in. How you guys doing? It's Friday, man. Woo! It's a great day for all of us survivors. We're not dead of coronavirus yet. We haven't been rioted or burned out. So I think all the businesses, though, I mean, everything is just bowing to the Black Lives Matter movement. Nobody wants to get their businesses burned. I mean, it's just amazing. But they're renaming everything. How about some of the older businesses? How about, I don't know, I'll probably get in trouble for this one. Remember the old restaurant chain Sambo's?
Yeah.
So how do you think they'd be faring today? You think there'd be one left that wasn't a Roman candle. I don't know. Just old school stuff here. Apple's shutting down again.
Okay, so here's an update now. Again, we told you how the Dow reverse course, now down several hundred points. Apple is announcing that they are going to be closing Apple stores in Arizona, Florida, North and South Carolina, and that's just the beginning. I got a funny feeling you're going to see California and Texas added to this as we get going. But how does this work now? Now all of a sudden we've got Apple, and you're going to, follow the leader. They're going to re-shut these stores down. How is that going to work for unemployment and all that stuff? At the end of July, if that $600 is over, right? Then what?
Well, there's going to be. Here's my call. They're going now. Oh, stimulus in August. The equity markets let go here next week. We won't make it to the 4th of July.
What's going to happen to this great V-shaped recovery if all these stores just say, you know what, we're just going to start shutting down?
Well, that's going to be a problem, don't you think? And the only thing left here to keep this going is stimulus. Obviously, the stimulus is working great. I mean, it's working great. Everybody's happy as can be, just running around, Everybody's got unemployment, or God knows where you get money from, SBA. I mean, everybody's gotten money. But it's not, enough to get us through. So the pandemic is a real problem. The mantra out there is that, we're going to have a vaccine in 18 months. We just have to wait. There's no guarantee there's a vaccine in 18 months. There was another story come out yesterday going, there's no guarantee that if you survive coronavirus and go home that you can't get it again the very next day.
Well,
that's the issue.
The latest is right. People that have had coronavirus, they had the antibiotics in their blood.
Now it's only like 8%.
They're saying that it disappears. The antibodies disappear after a few months.
Let's pray. Let's pray as a human race, not human racists, but as a human race, all of us, regardless of our color, that they somehow find a way to abate this. Now, maybe if you're a liberal listening, which we know we have a lot of them that love to hate us, they listen the whole hour, the average Eric Cedarstrom hater. But, let's just hope that no matter who you are, that the virus, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, actually, the vaccine cures it. What if it only cures for liberals? Or if you elect Joe Biden, it mysteriously goes away. Not out of the question, is it?
Boy, that's a turn I didn't see.
How about that? So
it mysteriously
Biden gets elected,
goes away if Joe Biden becomes president.
It'll go away on CNN. And the press drives most of this madness. Come on.
But this is my point. Now, Apple comes out, and of course, this is what they do. I'm sure Starbucks is going to be next, right? All these liberal CEOs, and you're just going to see another wave of closures, and there goes the recovery.
Well, and then, of course, if you send the equity markets down, they'll hand out stimulus faster than a judge can, sentence you to 30 to 90 days. Just when you thought things couldn't possibly get any worse. No, I'm not talking about pirates again. That was funny.
Did you see the article about the pirates talking about in the Gulf of Mexico? Pirates could threaten oil.
Yeah, the entire oil. I was laughing. Well, we did it yesterday. But when you thought things couldn't get any worse, a new report from Deutsche Bank may give you a new reason to stay up at night, like you people. We know the podcasters. We get most of our downloads podcasting from 2 to 5 a.m. Go to bed. What's wrong with you people? Deutsche Bank analyst led by Henry Allen. Now, see, apparently there is a department at Deutsche Bank, the catastrophist department.
I think every bank has one.
I would be perfect. I could be chief catastrophist at any bank.
We've got 50 executive VPs. 49 of them are everything's wonderful, and then there's that one guy. He doesn't get the office on the top floor. He's the guy in the basement office.
You don't become a catastrophist unless you've graduated from the school of hard knocks. When you see absolute sure things just explode in your face, that's how it happens to you. And, the older you get, the easier it is to become one. But chief catastrophist at Deutsche Bank, Henry Allen, says there's at least a 1 in 3 chance that at least 1 of 4 major tail risks will occur within the next decade. Either major influenza, pandemic killing more than 2 million people, a global catastrophic volcanic eruption, a major solar flare, or a global civil war? Pick one. Now,
there's a 33% chance one of these is going to happen.
The solar flare, possibly one of the rarely discussed, perhaps because of the last severe one in 1859. That's all we need. And this is when things like this happen.
See?
When you think things possibly can't get worse.
First the aliens show up, then the solar flare, followed by the volcanic eruption.
I'm banking with Deutsche Bank from now on. I trust these guys. They got somebody actually looking out for this. 1859. Yeah, imagine a solar flare today. It would wipe out all the cell phones, everything. The internet,
people wouldn't
all
know
satellite
how to Amazon wouldn't be able to ship any product if a solar flare like that happened.
Of course, if, I wonder if your EMP shield would help you with that. So
I wonder if Amazon has a bunch of EMP shields. I bet you they do.
You can go to EMPshield.com on our website, 1360 KHNC. Great American products made by great Americans. These people are wonderful individuals in the heart of America. They help you protect stuff from, power surges. So, and whether it's, I don't know, an electromagnetic pulse attack or who knows, lightning bolts. If you got solar, they do RVs, they do everything. So go to EMPshield.com, enter KHNC in the order code. Yeah, you get 50
by
bucks
putting KHNC in the promo code.
So, and just if you call them, you'll just enjoy them. I did. When I first talked to them and set up affiliated market with them, I'm so impressed. There could be major power outage. Electrical power grids are disrupted, which in turn will have knockoff effects throughout the economy and the world as critical infrastructure is unable to run properly. Lives would be lost. Hospitals, Medicare, communications, everything would go down. Payment systems would be dysfunctional. The satellites would face incredible interference.
My government EBT card doesn't work.
Oh, God. So... I love this guy.
Only you could find articles
I know,
like that.
It's great. Ray Dalio, Bridgewater Associates, warns that a reversal of the strong growth seen over the years in U.S. corporate profit margins would be wiped out in a lost decade after a solar flare. So, can they make them? Is there man-made
Actually, I think
solar
Dalio's comment was not about the solar flare. He thinks that's what's happening.
Anyway, right. Oh, the stock market, yeah. Yeah, he's calling for the lost decade, like we went through from 08 to 18 in the commercial real estate markets, which is probably happening again, by the way. How about the lost millennium? All right. I'm getting carried away. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back. You can take it. Stay with us. Broadcasting live on KXXT 1010 Family Values Radio here in Phoenix, as well as 1360 KHNC.com, the roar of the Rockies here in Arizona. We appreciate all our local business. Thank you. And all the children of the corn on the Front Range, customers for a quarter century up there. So, of course, we're 10 years now on KXXT, aren't we? Over 10?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, when did we start? 05, 06? Yeah, 14 years just on. Amazing. So, well, we work hard and glad to be part of this. So, of course, here in Arizona now you're going to have to wear a mask. The state's on fire. The economy is suspect as best. Our unemployment rate is at 8% and change is what they're willing to comp to right now, which is just, puts us, I don't know. But you need to, you really want to be a globalist? Well, I'm going to show you how. Okay? You ready?
Do you want to be a globalist?
You're going to turn your mic on.
Do you want to be a globalist?
You want to be a globalist so people will quit yelling at you? All right, I'm going to help you. You need to acquire non-confiscatable gold. Yes, when the currency collapse happens that now is being forecasted ad infinitum by just about every pinstripe bandit. Of course, they all recommend that you buy paper gold, ETFs, GLD, mining stocks. We recommend the opposite because you're going to have to try to function and be able. When we construct portfolios, we put them together with a reason. So, and one of the reasons is if the dollar collapses and nobody wants it and you can't buy gasoline, the petrodollar's gone, you can't buy groceries, they won't take it, the electronic credits, how about a solar flare? How about everything goes down? And all as you got, the paper doesn't buy anything. All you got left is gold. Well, guess what? You can travel anywhere in the world. Today, you can trade a $20 gold piece for an Australian dollar, a Brazilian real, a British pound, a Canadian dollar, a Chinese yuan, a euro. a Hong Kong, an Indian rupee, a Japanese yen, Mexican peso, Russian ruble, South African rand, Swiss francs, anywhere in Europe, anywhere you want to go. Gold is traded in every country. Congratulations, you're a globalist. You can now be the only person on a Carnival cruise boat and go to any country you want because you ordered from Patriot Trading Group back in 2020. How about that? Enjoy the world. Bon voyage. Thank you very much, Mr. Cedarstrom. We got a great special for you today. So we've run into a vein of people that are willing, these fools, that are allowing us to convert into certified gold at almost no premiums. I mean, we started out the week with the 64 St. Gaudens. We have found an exchange that's just amazing. And this is another market anomaly. Doesn't make any sense. Why are the real estate markets not crashing? Well, there's nothing for sale because nobody wants anyone in their house to look at it because they don't want their family getting sick. So they bought it all hook, line, and sinker, but yet 30% of the rental market's not making their payments. So the commercial markets are emptying out. This is all pointing to an economic crash. The one thing that runs gold higher than anything is a real estate crash. You can go through 87, go to 01, go to 08. And, I mean, what a great way to hedge it. I'm surprised that banks don't. Maybe Deutsche Bank does. Maybe they hedge their real estate loans with gold futures. I don't know. But this is something that you can't get anywhere. This is MS. Now, don't freak out, okay? This is very high quality, investor quality, MS63 $10 Indians. Yes. $10 Indian, the beautiful coin. These are not XF, VF. They're not AU. They're not BU. They're not MS60, not 61, not 62s, but 63s. Now, you all know what the 10 Indian is because there's this Pinstripe Bandit company that's selling them on television. And you've all seen them spinning. They're selling MS62, not 63, which is investor quality, 62 Indians for $19.95. $2,000. We can save you a little money. You can jump up an entire grade, which is huge. By the way, Joe went back and looked these up. In 08,
gold was $800. Cost for an MS63 $10 Indian was $1,800.
Think about that. That was just
over
in 08.
Double the price.
The Indian market is crazy and has tremendous, not only just to hold something that you can procure privately and a piece of history that will allow you to function, that if you have to spend it or use it, you're going to be allowed to keep it because this by far meets the criteria under the Executive Order 33 to be classified as rare and unusual value because a 10 Indian is a work of art. But we've got them at 1170, and I had, how many did we have? 50? We had 10. We had a guy in Missouri.
We only got 40 now.
We got 40.
And this one's a hard 40. There's not 41, 42. Sometimes we can help you. You know, you can call. Yeah, we can get you one. Not on this one.
Yeah, I found some more of the 6210s libs from yesterday, but again, those are gone now as well. I can't replicate them today. But the 6310 Indian was pretty much the price of a raw one, maybe a small premium. But, I mean, you're talking about an incredible piece of U.S. history, legal, lawful tender at ridiculous low premiums. I mean, the last time we were at $1,900 gold, this is a $2,500 coin. I don't know why this is certified.
At $1,850 gold. It was a $2,500 coin.
At $1,850 gold.
Yeah, gold's $1,747, so $1,750 over $100 from that.
See, this is what's happened. Nobody's really sure what's going on. So the paper gold markets, little by little, we're starting to see big physical gold, conversions, and it's starting to come. There was an article on Drudge Report about it, that they're looking for gold. We know there's a gold shortage in the...
Well, did you see, even Goldman Sachs today, did you see what they had to do?
Yeah,
we got to revise it. Gold's going to be $2,000 within 12 months. And, of course, if Goldman Sachs says 12 months, you know it's going to be 6 months or less before it's $2,000.
So, yeah, at $800 gold, this coin was more money than it is now at, just under $1,800 gold. So we think it's an excellent acquisition. Put it in your portfolio, an MS63 10 Indians. I don't think you can buy them anywhere near this, anywhere in the country today. $1,170 plus shipping and handling or any credit card fees. Call us 1-800-951-0592. Keep adding to your portfolios. We're doing the best we can do here, keeping all our spreads tight. But you can become a globalist by owning an Indian. Figure that one out. Trade it for any currency in the world. God knows if everything collapses, people are going to want to be getting out of here, that's for sure. 1-800-951-0592. Football back in the news. You know, Fauci yesterday said we're not going to get a football season.
Guy
the
says
NFL
you can't
says
see it happening.
How about baseball? The owners, how about 90 games, 80 games, 70, 60? What's the latest number?
50.
50. America's pastime is going the way of America. It's become non-existent. Patriot Radio News Hour. It's Friday. Whiskey Boys. We'll be back after this. Stay with us. Patriot Radio News Hour final segment. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Eric Cederstrom, Joe Jaquin, just Arlene, kind of a skeleton crew on a Friday. Joe and I both will be out of here by lunchtime today, so get your order in. Just be patient. We'll get to you. Arlene's going as fast as she can, so yeah, if you're looking for work, guess what? The service economy's humming along. McDonald's says they're going to hire 260,000 people. Now, they're going to have trouble hiring them if they don't get rid of that unemployment thing.
I'm going to tell you, that number may change after what Apple announced earlier today. I'm following on social media. Get ready, sports fans, especially you high school sports fans. It's going to get canceled.
Remember about 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, I did a story about how ultimately the fast food restaurants will become the manufacturing jobs of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Highly desirable
union
jobs.
Job, $30 an hour.
That's
Target's at 15.
Starting to happen. So, starting to happen. You know, the President of the United States, God bless him, man, the rally. I mean, will you watch the rally Saturday? I know I will. So,
I'm going to be glued to it.
Yeah, so will everybody. This is big news, and to see what the reaction is for Tulsa, Oklahoma. But, you know, it's just unprecedented times that we live in, and where we're heading as a country together just doesn't look good. And I know people, you all feel the same as I do. There's just got this bad feeling like this huge lead balloon hanging over us, just waiting for the country to lose control of everything. It's what it feels like, doesn't it? Let's pray for the president, pray for America on this Friday, that this is America. We've been through worse. We can get through this, come out the other end with some semblance of a country. But 2020, when we look back in history, ultimately will become a very pivotal year in history. So
it's going to be incredible how they document this.
Hard to say what it comes out in the other end. You know, it's hard to say. So it depends on who wins, I guess. So, but of course, you know, if you read the Bible, you know how it ends.